Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Guys, review I wanted to do here today. I wanted to compare a couple of products from Wild Turkey. We got the 101 and we have the Russell's 10 year. Both are the same mash bill, 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. But these products are very different. I love Wild Turkey. Anybody who's been watching this channel for a while knows that. I love Wild Turkey. All their stuff is good, guys. I mean, I love the 101, the Russell's 10 here, the single barrel, rare breed, Kentucky Spirit. I still need to do a review on. The Master's Keep, if I ever have a bunch of extra cash laying around, which I don't know. That one intrigues me for sure. But there's a whole, they've got quite the portfolio there at Wild Turkey. Jimmy and Eddie Russell, a couple of legends in the bourbon business. I love all their stuff. I really do. But I wanted to compare these two here, and I'll tell you why. You'll see why in just a little bit. But the 101 here, I mean, I got the little bottle, but the 101 is typically here in California $18 to $23, right in there. The Russell's Reserve, Russell's Reserve 10 year is typically around $30 to $40 here in California. I got this bottle here for $29.99 before tax, so probably about $32 out the door. But I wanted to talk about them because of how different they are. The 101, of course, being 101 proof, 50.5% alcohol by volume. The Russell's 10 being 90 proof, so they dial it back quite a bit. 90 proof, so 45 ABV. And we're going to see what the differences are here, what the values are here. And we'll give Wild Turkey 101 a pour into the Jefferson's tumbler over here. And then we'll go, I got a brand new tumbler, guys. My old one just bit the dust, busted. Had to give it a little burial out in 6 Mile Canyon in Nevada. But, this new one here, finally, I'm excited to have a new tumbler. And I know it's just a glass, but the old one had been through a lot with me, so it was a sad day. But anyway, 101 here in the Jefferson's tumbler, in the plain old tumbler here, the Russell's 10-year reserve. So let's, and of course Russell's 10-year reserve being 10 years, Wild Turkey 101 being 6 to 8 years. A mix of barrels from 6 to 8 years old. So let's take a look at the 101 here first, and it's a light amber color, guys. Not really dark, but it's got some good barrel char to it, especially for a 6 to 8 year old bourbon. Yeah, I'd say it's a light amber. Go back to that in just a second. The other one here, let's compare them together. They're about the same, to be honest with you. The 10 year might be just a little bit lighter, to be honest, probably because it's been dialed back with water a bit. But they're close to the same color. So we're going to start off with the 101 here, guys. Give it a nose. And on the 101 here, always has a really nice vanilla on the nose. Some really good barrel char as well. A bit of nuttiness. There's always a little bit of nuttiness in Wild Turkey products. And one big thing that I get, which is kind of a funny note to get, cotton candy. I get cotton candy on the nose. Let's give it a sip. And on the palate with Wild Turkey, really good, really good vanilla note, a char note as well. You get, it's almost a creme brulee type thing, you know, that kind of singed or burnt, caramelized note to it. Uh, I love it. I love Wild Turkey 101. I think it's one of the best values you can get, under $20 or around $20. Really good stuff, guys. So, but yeah, you get, as I said, the vanilla, some cinnamon, definitely some cinnamon. It's got quite a, you know, a good amount of rye in it. You know, 13% in the mash bill. Mash bill being 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. But that, it does have some rye spice to it, but it's more of a cinnamon on the palate. Um, so yeah, vanilla, cinnamon, that creme brulee. It's funny. Anybody who's familiar with Mexican cuisine at all, I get almost a little bit with that cinnamon taste to it. I get a little bit of like a horchata type thing. You know, it's that rice drink. Yeah, it's a rice drink, but it has cinnamon in it. Definitely get that in there though. Really good taste on the palate. I love that barrel char. They use that alligator char when they make it, and it just gives it a really nice taste. You know, a lot of those flavors from the barrel are coming through, and I love Wild Turkey 101. So let's take a sip of water and go on to the Russell's 10. All right, so Russell's 10. On the nose, I'm getting the vanilla. The instead of a creme brulee type note, I'm getting a lighter, more of a sweeter, sweet corn nose to it. A lighter caramel. There's some barrel char there, guys, but for a 10-year-old bourbon, that barrel char isn't coming through as much, and I think it's because they dial it down so much, dilute it so much with the water, back to 90 proof. But it has a very nice nose, it really does. But yeah, vanilla, caramel. It's got some spice to it, but not as much. You know, it just for it being a little bit more money, for it being aged a few years more, 10 years instead of 6 to 8. I would just that's my complaint with it, is that it's they've dialed it back a little bit too much. So let's take a sip. And on the palate, I don't know, my taste buds are playing tricks on me today, but you get the vanilla. You get a lot more rye spice than you do with the 101. 101 is more of a cinnamon spice to me. This, you do get the rye spice more with the Russells, but there's a little bit of smokiness there today as well. I don't usually get the smokiness as much, but there is a smokiness with it today. It's a good taste. It's a really good taste. We'll go in for another sip of this. I wish I could taste the Russell's 10 at a proofing of 100 or higher. I really think that would totally do it justice. I just don't feel like that 90 proof is really doing it as much justice as it could. A lot of untapped potential, in my opinion. Um, it's a good whiskey, this Russell's 10, but I was sipping on these the other night, and for the Russell's 10 year, being say $10 to $15 more than the 101 for the regular size bottle, um, I feel like the true value, um, lies more in the 101. I really do. Um, that's not to say the Russell's 10 is not good. It's very, very good. And a lot of people might like it more. Um, to be honest, I mean, that's fine. But for my palate, I tend to gravitate more toward the higher proof bourbons these days, just because I feel like the higher proof brings out more character and just does bourbon more justice. For a lot of bourbons anyway. Um, for this, I feel like the Russell's 10 would really benefit from being a little bit higher proof. Um, that 101 is just such a good value, guys. We're going to go back and taste that real quick. That char and that cinnamon spice it brings out, and that creme brulee type, you know, type note to it. I mean, it has that cotton candy to it, that vanilla. It's just a very, very good bourbon, and for the price that it's at, that 101. I mean, for me, putting a score on it, I mean, that 101 has to be, it's an 89 all day. 89. Um, Very, very good bourbon. And why not higher than 89? I mean, shoot, for the value there, $20 or under. Like I said, it's some places here it's $16.99. So about 18, $19 out the door. Some places it's a little bit more. It's $24 out the door. But I'll bump it up to a 90 for that value there. Well worth it, guys. That alligator char they use, it's 6 to 8 years old, so it's not like it's just some uh, you know young immature bourbon. It's still got some good age to it, and that proofing just it keeps it up there. So 90 for the 101 all day long. Really good stuff. Okay, back to the Russell's 10 here. Just depends on what you like, guys. It's the Russell's 10 is very good still, very good. Uh, you know, as I said before, you get that vanilla. You do get a bit of that barrel char, although it's I think dialed back too much. For a 10-year bourbon, I want to taste that barrel char. I want to taste what those years did to that bourbon. And I don't feel like making this 90 proof is totally giving it the justice it deserves. So the Russell's 10 is going to get, it's still very good. Don't get me wrong. Still very good. I'm going to give it an 86 out of 100. For those of you that don't like higher proof bourbons, that might be for you. It's a good value. It is. At $29.99, it's still a very good value. It's just not quite what I'm looking for. But 86 out of 100 anyway, guys. That's a good score. So, but I highly recommend any wild turkey product. You're not gonna find. I mean, as far as the lower proof wild turkeys, the 81 and all that, both the 81 rye and the bourbon, I would use those more for mixing personally. Um, they are still good, and they're a little bit lower in price. But the 101, I feel like the 101 really, as a sipper, gives wild turkey the justice it deserves. And then if you want to go a little bit higher in price, the rare breed or the single barrel, I think there's a higher proof rye as well, the 101, and then there's another one. I think there's another Russell's Reserve rye, and I haven't actually had that one yet, so I'll look to get that one as well. But as far as just the normal bourbon, I feel like 101 really benefits wild turkey. I mean, all the work they put into it with the charring of the barrels and all that. 101 proof really brings all that flavor out. That whiskey is getting out of that charred barrel, that alligator char, and that's where I stand between these two. 101 all day long, and it's, as I said, $10 to $15 cheaper. So make sure you don't miss out. I know a lot of people out there have had the 101, and highly recommend it all day long. I recommend the Russell's Reserve too. If the 101 isn't quite, if it's a little too much for your personal taste, just burns you up or whatever, try out the Russell's Reserve 10-year. You might like it better. But for me, the 101, any day of the week. So that's it for now, guys. Again, Wild Turkey 101, 90 for the score, 86 for the Russell's Reserve 10-year. And that's it for now. I look forward to getting back on here soon. I have several more whiskeys to review, guys. Let me know what you think, what your personal opinion is. And I look forward to the back and forth. So that said, you guys have a great weekend, a great Father's Day. All you dads out there, thank you. I plan on having a great Father's Day. My kids already drew me some pictures today saying best dad ever, and that made my day. So yeah, you guys have a great weekend, and look forward to talking to y'all soon. Till next time, cheers.